Very much, Saleh, for giving me this opportunity to speak on this topic. And regarding an introduction, my name is Amruta and Lavekar, and I work as a project coordinator and gerontologist with this project called Graceful Living, which has been started by Tulsi Trust, and also it was started by the Department of Geriatric Medicine, Jaslok Hospital. So I'm sure you have heard Dr. Prem. So we provide medical as well as social services to older adults. So Dr. Prem does the medical part, and I basically look into the social services. So one of the prominent services which we provide is intellectual companionship. So people who are feeling lonely, people who are alone, people who want to share things, and maybe try and do some brain stimulating activities. So we conduct that with them. So that is one of the major social services that we have. And the other this is other activities is we conduct support group meetings. We have webinars on various topics related to aging. Okay, so this is in brief regarding myself and older adults. And today the subject is quite difficult, in the sense complicated. और इसके बारे में जो कुछ भी मैंने पढ़ाई की है, जो कुछ भी थोड़ा बहुत रिसर्च किया है, तो दैट आई वांट टू शेयर इट विथ ऑल ऑफ यू. एंड आई वुड ऑल्सो रिक्वेस्ट यू कि अगर आपको लगता है कि आपको कुछ शेयर करना है, or if you feel that maybe you are able to relate to a particular thing which I say, तो फिर आप प्लीज फील फ्री टू अनम्यूट योर सेल्फ एंड टॉक. ओके, तो ये जो टॉपिक है इसके बारे में हम सभी लोगों को कुछ ना कुछ एक्सपीरियंस है. तो इसके लिए अगर आपको लगता है कि यू इफ यू फील दैट यू आर एबल टू, दैट यू वांट टू वेंटिलेट और दैट यू वांट टू टॉक, देन प्लीज फील फ्री टू डू इट. ओके, तो ये जो है मेरा पर्पस ये सेशन करने में सिर्फ दो है. ओके, आई हैव टू पर्पसेस बिहाइंड डूइंग दिस सेशन. सबसे पहला ये, जैसे मैंने कहा कि हम लोगों को सबको हमारे जो प्रियजन है, अवर लव्ड वंस, व्हेन देयर इज अ डेथ, एंड नाउ आई थिंक इन द टाइम्स ऑफ कोविड बहुत अनप्रेसिडेंटेड लेवल पे हम लोगों ने देखा है कि पीपल हैव लॉस्ट देयर लव्ड वंस. और ये भी हम लोगों ने देखा है कि बहुत मतलब अलग ही तरीके से, मतलब उनको रिचुअल्स नहीं कर सके, वो उनको लास्ट देख नहीं सके. तो ये बहुत अलग, और जो हम लोगों ने कभी सोचा भी नहीं था, तो वो हिसाब से हम लोगों को डेथ के साथ डील करना पड़ा है. तो इसके बारे में काफी सारा रिसर्च हुआ है. ओके, और वो रिसर्च से हम लोग जब भी इसके साथ डील करते हैं, जब भी हम लोग हमारे प्रियजन के मौत के साथ, अगर हम लोग मृत्यु के साथ हम लोग डील करते हैं, तो हम लोग कौन से स्टेजेस से जा सकते हैं. okay, and what feelings or what emotions we are going through, if we are able to understand that, तो हम लोग और अच्छे तरीके से हम लोग हील हो पाएंगे, और अच्छे तरीके से हम लोग समझ पाएंगे कि हम लोगों को क्या हो रहा है. ओके, सो बहुत टाइम ऐसे हो सकता है कि वी विल फील लॉस्ट, वी विल नॉट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज हैपनिंग टू अस. तो वैसा ना हो, थोड़ा बहुत हम लोगों को समझे कि हमारे साथ क्या हो रहा है. दैट इज वन. एंड सेकेंडली, कि हम लोग इसके साथ डील कैसे कर सकते हैं. ओके, तो बहुत मतलब we also know that dealing with the loss of loved one is a universal process. okay, so दो चीजें हैं जो हम लोगों को ध्यान में रखनी है. They are saying that dealing with loss of a loved one is an individual process. Individual process यानी क्या, हर एक जो है, okay, he will deal with the death of, with the loss of a loved one in a different way. At the same time, each and every person has to go through this experience of loss. Okay, so in that sense, it is also a universal emotion or universal process that people all over the world go through. Okay, तो इसके लिए इसको समझना बहुत जरूरी है. तो अभी तक शायद अगर हम लोगों ने, हमारे साथ ये हुआ नहीं है, तो शायद आगे, गॉड फॉरबिड, आगे हो सकता है. तो इसके साथ कैसे डील करना है हमारे साथ ये जान लेना बहुत जरूरी है. Okay, so what is what is grief? ओके, तो ग्रीफ यानी हम लोग जिसको हिंदी में शोक बोलते हैं. ओके, तो ये ग्रीफ जो है दैट इज अ नेचुरल रिस्पॉन्स टू लॉस. ओके, सो लॉस हम लोग आज जो बात कर रहे हैं दैट इज डीलिंग विद द लॉस ऑफ अ लव्ड वन. बट लॉस कैन बी एनीथिंग. लॉस कैन बी द लॉस ऑफ अ रिलेशनशिप. Loss can be the loss of a job. Loss can be, you know, I may be shifting to a new home, so you know, I will miss my old home. So that is another kind of loss. I might have a terminal illness, so that might be a loss of independence. तो अलग अलग तरीके के losses जो हैं आदमी अपने जीवन में face करता है. Okay, so this is a natural response to loss. Okay, so grief, whatever it might be, our loved possession, or it might be a person that we like or love very much. Okay, so it is a natural response to loss. Okay, it is intense and long lasting. Okay, so depending on my relationship with that person, और डिपेंडिंग ऑन के वो जो चीज है वो मेरे लिए कितनी महत्वपूर्ण है, तो द इंटेंसिटी विल बी दैट मच मोर एंड दैट मच इट विल बी लॉन्ग लास्टिंग. We also know that it can occur at many levels. Okay, तो अगर समझो it can occur at emotional level, it can occur at the psychological level, the physical level. So basically what we are trying to say कि अगर समझो if grief occurs then it is going to have an impact at multiple levels. Okay, and that is something that we have to keep in mind, that is something that we know also. Okay, so अगर समझो कुछ डेथ वगैरह होती है, so I will definitely be disturbed and that is definitely going to have an impact on my emotions, that is definitely going to have an impact on my physical health. Okay, so it is going to occur at many levels if someone is taken away from us. Now one thing which we need to mind is they are saying पहले ऐसे ये माना जाता था कि grief is just one emotion. Okay, so if someone is taken away from me, if there is a death, if there is a loss of a loved person, so that means I will just have, generally हम लोग ये करते हैं कि there will be bouts of crying, there will be despair, there will be sadness. तो generally ऐसे सोचा जाता था कि it is only one emotion, a person will feel only one emotion, sadness, grief. So but what they are saying is it is a process. It is a whole process which is composed of many emotions. Okay, so emotions कौन-कौन से हो सकते हैं? There might be sadness, there might be anger के आदमी एकदम अचानक चले गया. Whatever maybe things I wanted to share with that person, I was not able to share that. तो ये anger हो सकता है. A person might deny कि भाई a person might not accept that my loved one has passed away. ओके, तो ऐसे बहुत सारे जो अलग अलग इमोशंस हैं उनका एक मिश्रण या कॉम्बिनेशन है. सो इट इज अ प्रोसेस. ओके, एंड आई थिंक इन 2018 there was a book which had come and which said that it's okay that you are not okay. It is okay that you are not okay. And that they had said कि ये ग्रीफ, जब भी कुछ ग्रीफ जैसा कोई प्रोसेस के साथ हम लोग जब भी डील करते हैं तभी इट इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम विच नीड्स टू बी रिजॉल्व. अगर हम लोग उसको प्रॉब्लम के तरीके से अगर हम लोग देखते हैं तो देन इट बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू रिजॉल्व दैट. सो इट इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम टू or solved, it is a process which needs to be tended and lived through in whatever form and however long it will take. Okay, so what we are trying to say is it is a process, it is not a problem. हम लोग ये सोचते हैं ना कि अरे हमारे साथ ही ये क्यों हो रहा है. तो अगर हम लोग उसको उस तरीके से देखते हैं, उसको प्रॉब्लम के तरीके से देखते हैं, तो then it is all the more difficult to deal with. So it is a process and it is not a problem to be resolved. Okay, so these are the two things which we need to keep in mind. Okay, so this is regarding grief. Dusra, there is this author which she wrote this book on grief and she said that if we can start to understand the true nature of grief, we can have a more helpful loving and supportive culture. Okay, so if we are able to understand, as we are saying, if we are able to understand the true nature of grief, not only will we be able to understand ourselves, what we are going through, the different emotions that we are going through, but we will also be able to support other people when they are grieving. Okay, so that is why it is necessary to understand that. Okay, now there are different types of grief. Okay, and this is something that was new to me also. मुझे लगा था grief यानी grief. Okay, so you know what is so different about that? तो जब भी मैंने मतलब इसका पढ़ाई किया तो मुझे पता चला types of grief which are there. Okay, and when we understand कि हमारा grief कौन से type में when it falls under which category, then maybe we are able to understand it in a better way. Okay, so the first type of grief that we are talking about, it is called the anticipatory grief. It is called the anticipatory grief. तो इसमें क्या होता है कि generally if there is a terminal illness, okay, like cancer, okay, तो उसमें generally पता चलता है कि that you know that the person has a limited period of time, okay, and the person is not going to live for a long period of time. Okay, तो इसमें we know that you know death is anticipated. Okay, तो ये होने वाला है, इसके बारे में फैमिली मेंबर्स को या लव्ड वंस को इसके बारे में मालूम होता है. सो मे बी इट इज पॉसिबल फॉर देम टू एंटिसिपेट व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन. ओके, तो बिकॉज दे कैन एंटिसिपेट इट, और अगर समझो इलनेस बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है, देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ पेन इन्वॉल्व, तो बहुत से इसमें ये भी हो सकता है कि लोगों को, लोग ये भी बोलते हैं कि समझो आदमी की अगर समझो मौत हो जाती है तो लोग ये भी बोलते हैं कि ये पेन से छूट गया. ओके, सो यू नो ही हैज काइंड ऑफ बीन रिलीव्ड ऑफ द पेन दैट ही वाज गोइंग थ्रू. तो ये भी हो सकता है. तो इसमें इसके लिए हम लोग बोल रहे हैं कि ग्रीफ जो है इट इज ऑल इट कंसिस्ट ऑफ मिक्स्ड इमोशंस. ओके, तो अगर समझो हम लोगों को तैयारी, family members or loved ones maybe can prepare for this kind of grief that might be coming, and they might be able to kind of, all these emotions can start coming earlier. Okay, और ऐसे भी हो सकता है that they get more time to prepare. Possible that the anticipatory grief may lessen the impact or loss after the person passes away. It might happen or it might not happen. ओके, तो ये एंटिसिपेटरी ग्रीफ जो है, तो उसमें हम लोग एंटिसिपेट कर सकते हैं इन द केस ऑफ एन इलनेस के द पर्सन माइट नॉट लिव फॉर अ लॉन्गर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. ओके, सो इसमें हम लोग बोल रहे हैं कि आदमी को तैयारी, फैमिली मेंबर्स तैयारी कर सकते हैं, या फिर कई कई इसमें देयर माइट बी अ सेंस ऑफ रिलीफ आल्सो कि भाई दैट पर्सन हैज बीन रिलीव्ड फ्रॉम दैट व्हाटएवर ही वाज सफरिंग, ही वाज गोइंग थ्रू. So that is what we call as anticipatory grief. Second जो ये है, that is called normal grief. Okay, अभी ये normal grief में क्या होता है कि people मतलब दुख होता है, शोक होता है, उसके बाद जनरली पीपल कैरी ऑन देयर नॉर्मल रूटीन. बट नॉर्मल रूटीन करते हुए अगर समझो कुछ हो जाता है तो फिर हम लोगों को याद आ जाती है, देयर इज सम ट्रिगर एंड वी फील अगेन रिमेंबर दैट पर्सन, and maybe then there are bouts of crying or whatever, and then there are acute feelings of grief, so they might come in bursts. So in normal grief the intensity of this grief reduces over time. Okay, so that is what we call normal grief till the time we find the new normal, till the time we adjust with the revised matlab with the new situation. Okay, so we will, the intensity will reduce. Okay, so maybe when we are able to adjust to that situation. So that is the normal grief which they are talking about. The third one is called the complicated grief. Okay, तो इसमें क्या होता है कि that the pain is complicated grief में the pain is so overwhelming that a person is not able to normally go through the daily activities. Okay, so for a long period of time. और इसके साथ साथ ही एक तो डेली एक्टिविटीज नहीं कर सकते हैं, दूसरा they might have irrational thoughts. Okay, so they might have irrational thoughts, and secondly they also might have avoidance behavior. यानी समझो हस्बैंड और वाइफ, और अगर समझो वाइफ हैज पास्ड अवे, तो समझो वो अगर मार्केट में जाते थे साथ में, तो फिर वो मार्केट में जाना ही छोड़ देते हैं. दे डोंट पास थ्रू दैट route or that road or whatever. So that is basically avoidance behavior. So in complicated grief, what happens is that there is irrational thoughts, not being able to go about your daily activities, and the third one is avoidance behavior. Okay, तो ये complicated grief हम लोग इसको बोल सकते हैं. और इसमें ये भी खतरा हो सकता है कि that the harm himself or herself, and that is why if proper support is not provided to that person at the right time, then the person can cause harm to himself or herself. So this is the third kind of grief which generally a person can face. चौथा है, that is the delayed grief. Delayed. Okay, and feelings that are linked to grief, they don't appear immediately. Okay, so I have this cousin who passed away, and he passed away very suddenly. Okay, so there was a he had a heart attack and then he passed away, and this did not happen at his home. He and his family had gone for a holiday, and he had some kind of pain in his chest, and they called a doctor, and by that time he was almost he had almost passed away. So basically, with his wife, okay, so with his wife, my bhabhi, it was so difficult for her to accept it that at least for the first 20 days there was absolutely no feeling that she manifested. She was totally numb. Okay, so कुछ बोला भी नहीं उन्होंने, रोए भी नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं, ऐसे ही नम थे, कुछ बोल नहीं रहे थे, and she was just staring at the wall for a very long period of time. Okay, so that is basically delayed grief. Okay, so they basically find it harder to cope, and this kind of intensity is felt months after the person passes away. तो इसको हम लोग delayed grief बोल सकते हैं. एक तो हमको पता चला कि कौन कौन से प्रकार हैं, फिर उसके साथ कैसे डील करना है ये बाद में हम लोग देख सकते हैं. So that is delayed grief. Next kind of grief that which we talk about is the inhibited grief. It is called the inhibited grief. इसमें क्या होता है कि आदमी जो है वो एक्सेप्ट ही करने को तैयार नहीं होता है कि मेरे जो प्रियजन है वो जा चुके हैं. Okay, so basically the person will try and distract himself by doing certain things and not accept at all that this person has passed away, and they feel that they will be able to run away, or they will be able to avoid the pain and the suffering that is associated with the loss. Okay, so that is called inhibited grief. The person will totally distract himself by not accepting. There is this case, which I had read about, where this lady, for around, I think, क्या बोलते हैं, for some time, I mean, she, for around 30 years, okay, so she kind of distracted herself, and for around 30 years she did not accept that her son had passed away. So this also might happen, that people generally will not accept, and this has also happened a lot with COVID, where people, because they have not been able to see the person, it has been difficult for them to accept that this person is not there with them anymore. Okay, so this is the inhibited grief which might happen. The next kind of grief, which it was very new for me also, it was the disenfranchised grief. Okay, so that is the disenfranchised grief, where people get little support, okay, or acceptance this generally happens in case of generally मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देती हूँ कि डिसएनफ्रेंचाइज ग्रीफ यानी क्या मतलब आई बेसिकली लव पेट्स अ लॉट and we had around 2 pets. We had one pet for around 14 years. Okay, भी गया मतलब पेट को पैरालिसिस का अटैक आया था. शी वाज नॉट एबल टू वॉक एनी मोर एंड जब भी व्हेन दैट पेट पास्ड अवे, ओके, सो व्हेन दैट डॉग शी पास्ड अवे, तो इतना हम लोगों को वो लॉस महसूस हुआ. देयर वाज सो मच ऑफ ग्रीफ, देयर वाज सो मच ऑफ crying and tremendous loss we felt, because we felt that that dog was like a family member. But other people in our family were not able to understand कि भाई इतना कुत्ता गया है, कुत्ता मर गया है, तो उसका इतना शौक क्यों मना रहे हैं, उसको इतना क्यों मिस कर रहे हैं, ये उनको पता ही नहीं चला. तो इसके लिए जनरली लोगों को या फिर समाज को पता नहीं चलता है कि ये इतना इसका इतना ये लॉस क्यों महसूस कर रहे हैं. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड डिसएनफ्रेंचाइज ग्रीफ, वेयर द लॉस इज नॉट रिकॉग्नाइज्ड बाय द सोसाइटी एज समथिंग दैट इज वर्दी ऑफ ग्रीफ. Okay, so that is disenfranchised grief, that is what they call it. दूसरा है absent grief, and this is what is similar to the inhibited grief that we talked about. तो इसमें generally लोग पूरे तरीके से silence हो जाते हैं, they silence their own feelings, they do not talk, and it is more of an okay. ये जो absent grief है, तो that is like the inhibited grief where they totally get silence, they do not talk, totally अपने ही मौन में रहते हैं. So as I told you, that example of this 8-year-old who was not able to accept that her son had passed away. Okay, so they totally silence their feelings and they totally carry on as nothing has happened. They don't even distract themselves, but they try and they try and experience as if nothing has happened in their lives. Okay, so that is the absent grief. Okay, so it is absent on the surface, but अंदर ही अंदर वो कहीं ना कहीं they are feeling it, but they are not manifesting it in any way. The next one is called the exaggerated grief. और ये exaggerated grief जो है, that is similar to complicated grief in that the ability and sorrow to function that doesn't improve over time, and it happens when several losses occur at the same time. और ये कोविड के काल में मतलब बहुत हम लोगों को देखने को मिला है कि फैमिली के बहुत सारे मेंबर्स एक ही टाइम पे they have lost their lives. Okay, so the people who are living have had to go through or face deaths of many loved ones at the same time. So इसमें grief exaggerated हो जाता है बहुत ज्यादा और बड़ा हो जाता है. तो इसके लिए हम लोग उसको exaggerated grief बोलते हैं और इससे कोप करने को भी बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है. Okay, so these are the different types of grief which studies, research has talked about. Different types of grief. Okay, another grief which we have been talking about is the one which we have seen, which is unprecedented, which occurs when a community, society, town, country, nation, and the world experiences extreme change or loss. Happened in the times of COVID, and when world changing events, like even when Mahatma Gandhi passed away, so that was like a world changing event where the whole world experienced extreme change or extreme loss of one person. Okay, so that is collective grief, okay, which we are talking about. So different types of grief we have seen. Now there are certain there are myths about grief. ओके, और ये इसके बारे में हम लोगों को जानना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि ये this is something that we have either learned from others or maybe something that we feel, और इसको हम लोगों को थोड़ा समझना बहुत जरूरी है. सबसे पहली बात, grief is bad, और what we earlier said कि grief is a problem, अभी हम लोगों को इससे जाना पड़ेगा और we will have to undergo this. So basically what research is saying is that grief is not bad. Okay, and grief will have an important purpose. और क्या purpose हो सकता है? हम लोग generally कोई जाता है तो हम लोग हम लोग सोचते हैं कि भाई ये आदमी अगर हमारे नजदीक का है, हमारा प्रियजन है, लव्ड वन है, तो हमारी जिंदगी उसके बिना क्या है। ओके, तो ऐसे बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस आदमी को आ सकते हैं, तो इट हेल्प्स पीपल टू रिजॉल्व दैट। ओके, तो ये क्वेश्चंस जो है, जो एक आदमी के दिमाग में आ सकते हैं, और अ पर्सन undergoes or has to think through. So it grief basically helps us to answer those questions and basically helps us in reflecting on those questions. And grief is also important to come to terms with that loss, to come to terms with it, to adjust to it. तो ये बहुत जरूरी है। ओके, एंड हमको मालूम है कि हमारा ब्रेन जो है, कोई भी अगर परिस्थिति निर्माण होती है, तो आवर ब्रेन इज स्लोली ऑल्टरिंग इट्स पाथवेज। हमको मालूम है कि हमारे ब्रेन में अलग अलग सेल्स होते हैं। ओके, और जब भी कोई परिस्थिति बदलती है, तो हमारे जो ब्रेन के कनेक्शंस है, वो भी उसमें भी थोड़ी सी अदला बदल हो जाती है। तो ये धीरे धीरे ब्रेन एडजस्ट करता है, सो इट टेक्स टाइम। सो ग्रीफ enables us to do that. First, it helps us to come to terms with the loss, and secondly, it helps us to reflect on important questions. Okay, so grief is important, and grief is not bad. It is not a problem that needs to be resolved. अगर इस तरीके से अगर हम लोग ग्रीफ को देखते हैं, तो और अच्छे तरीके से हम लोग इसके साथ डील कर सकते हैं। अभी अगर हम लोग बोलते हैं कि ग्रीफ इज नॉट बैड, तो इसका मतलब ये है क्या कि मोर ग्रीफ इज बेटर? तो ऐसा भी नहीं कह रहे हैं वो लोग कह रहे हैं कि पहले लोग मानते थे, पहले रिसर्चर्स मानते थे कि देर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड द ग्रीफ वर्क हाइपोथेसिस। अभी ग्रीफ वर्क हाइपोथेसिस यानी क्या? तो दे यूज्ड टू थिंक, रिसर्चर्स, साइकोलॉजिस्ट यूज्ड टू थिंक कि अगर समझो डेथ हो जाती है ऑफ अ लव्ड वन, तो पर्सन बहुत जो रोता है, अपने फीलिंग्स मैनिफेस्ट करता है, विगरसली अपना जो ये है वो कन्फ्रंट करता है। तो जो हम लोग, मुझे जब भी मैं बात करती हूँ, तो मुझे वो रुदाली जो पिक्चर था वो ही याद आती है, कि जो विगरसली अपना जो ग्रीफ है वो कन्फ्रंट करते हैं। तो ये जो लोग कन्फ्रंट करते हैं, तो साइकोलॉजिस्ट यूज्ड टू थिंक दैट दिस इज द बेस्ट वे टू डील विथ लॉस। और अगर ऐसा कोई नहीं कर रहा है, कोई अगर अपने जो इमोशंस है वो अगर ऐसे हैंडल नहीं कर रहा है, देन दे आर आइदर सप्रेसिंग और दे आर डिनाइंग द लॉस। दे आर आइदर सप्रेसिंग और डिनाइंग द लॉस। इसको पहले साइकोलॉजिस्ट मानते थे, एंड दिस वाज कॉल्ड द ग्रीफ वर्क हाइपोथेसिस। बट अभी जो नया रिसर्च हुआ है, उसमें वो लोग ये कह रहे हैं कि देयर आर two ways in which people will adjust or people will cope with the loss. There are two ways. One, they say that is called the recovery trajectory, यानी रिकवरी का प्रोसेस। और ये रिकवरी प्रोसेस में वो लोग कहते हैं कि the person might have difficulty in functioning, or they might intensely face a lot of painful emotions like depression. Okay, but after a period of time that intensity will reduce. So that is what they call as the recovery trajectory. ओके, या रिकवरी प्रोसेस जिसको हम बोल सकते हैं, ट्रेजेक्टरी यानी प्रोसेस। ओके, तो दैट इज द फर्स्ट थिंग, तो उनको वो रिकवरी ट्रेजेक्टरी बोलते हैं। दूसरा जो दूसरा काइंड ऑफ प्रोसेस विच दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इज रेजिलियंस, एंड आई थिंक वी आल्सो हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट रेजिलियंस। मतलब जनरली people will be able to cope with that in a relatively stable healthy way, और वो इतना उनका जो पेन है, जो समझो नमनेस है, तो वो इतना मैनिफेस्ट नहीं करेंगे, या फिर उनका जो ग्रीफ है वो इतने ओपन तरीके से उसको मैनिफेस्ट नहीं करेंगे। एंड दैट इज व्हाट दे कॉल द रेजिलियंस ट्रेजेक्टरी और द रेजिलियंस प्रोसेस। तो ये अलग अलग दो तरीके हैं, एंड साइकोलॉजिस्ट आर सेइंग दैट बोथ आर नॉर्मल। तो किसी हर एक, इसके लिए हम लोग हर एक आदमी का लॉस को फेस करने का जो तरीका है वो अलग है। हम लोग ये नहीं बोल सकते हैं कि वो आदमी अगर दिखाता नहीं है, वो आदमी अगर समझो 2 दिन के बाद घर में अगर समझो डेथ हुई है और 2 दिन के बाद अगर वो काम पे जा रहा है तो वो आदमी को कुछ लगा नहीं, ही इज नॉट फीलिंग दैट लॉस, वी कैन नॉट से दैट. Okay, so that is why they have a different way and both ways are healthy. So that's what I have written here. If people don't cry, they are not sorry about the loss. ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसा हम लोग मान नहीं सकते हैं, पर generally ऐसा हम लोग समझते हैं.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm very emotional. About a month back, I lost my brother last year in the, and I was grieving for him for almost a year. So everybody was all right, my family other, but I was so emotionally, I don't know why I was feeling grieving. When I lost my husband, I grieved for 2 years. I would wear white saris and I would not go out, no jewelry, and nobody could get me out. So is it my personal problem?
So it is your personal way of dealing with that loss, and generally they say that grieving should last for a year. Now they are saying that is not the case. There is no timeline which has been decided.
But everybody, you're taking it too much to heart. You can't manage
that is not the case. People take, as I've told you, they take 4-5 years. A lady took 30 years. So they are not saying that is abnormal.
But anything, I grieve a lot, I get sad, I feel emotionally very this.
Yeah, so what they are saying is once you identify that and once you accept it and once you acknowledge the fact that this is your pattern and this
how do
is
I
your
get
style.
Out of it? How do I
That's
get out?
What we will come to that. We will come to that. Okay,
Thank
so one thing is to recognize, and there are certain stages a person goes through, and we will come to that.
Yeah.
Okay, but thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Okay, so they are saying that grief, there is no timeline which is there. It should last for a year. लोग बोलते हैं 1 साल अगर हो गया and a person maybe goes beyond that, then that person is taking a long time. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Okay, so that is why we are saying that it is a individual thing. It is a individual process, and a person has his or her own way of dealing with that particular loss, and that is also dependent on the kind of relationship that a person has with that person whom he or she has lost. Okay, there is no right way to grieve. जैसे हम लोगों ने देखा जोर जोर से रोना, जोर जोर से maybe banging the walls. So there is no right way or wrong way to grieve. Okay, so that they are quite clear कि कोई एक जैसा कोई तरीका नहीं है which is called the right way. Women grieve more than men, ऐसा भी नहीं है. Okay, so what they are saying is, and as madam was saying, that women are generally more emotionally demonstrative. They are able to because the way they have been raised on, because हमारा जैसा upbringing है, generally women are able to demonstrate their feelings and emotions and grief in a more open manner than men. But women grieve करते हैं ज़्यादा, ऐसा भी कुछ नहीं. They have basically said, अभी मैडम ने ये क्वेश्चन पूछा है, इसके लिए मैं बोल रही हूँ कि they have said that there are 3 types of ways in which 3 patterns of grieving, okay, which they have said. The one is intuitive grieving. Okay, so they are saying that it is typically associated with women and it is more emotionally expressive. They call it the intuitive pattern. दूसरा जो है that is called the instrumental pattern. इसमें क्या है, इसमें जनरली थॉट्स और बिहेवियर्स होते हैं और इतना जनरली ओपनली मैनिफेस्ट नहीं करते हैं, दिखाते नहीं है कि हम लोगों को ग्रीफ हो रहा है या दुख हो रहा है. इसको हम लोग इंस्ट्रूमेंटल पैटर्न बोलते हैं. और तीसरा जो है दैट इज अ ब्लेंडेड पैटर्न विच इज अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ द इंट्यूटिव पैटर्न एंड द इंस्ट्रूमेंटल पैटर्न. तो जनरली क्या होता है कि जनरली औरतों को ऐसे लग सकता है कि जो पुरुष है वो लोग इतना मैनिफेस्ट नहीं करते हैं तो उनको ज्यादा दुख नहीं हो रहा है, पर अंदर ही अंदर उनको जो दुख होता है वो जनरली वो लोग दिखा नहीं पाते हैं क्योंकि हमारा कंडीशनिंग वैसा है, पर उनको दुख हो नहीं रहा है, ऐसा नहीं है. तो इसके वजह औरतों में और पुरुषों में थोड़ा सा मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग हो सकता है. वुमेन को लग सकता है कि लोगों पुरुषों को इतना दुख हो नहीं रहा है, पुरुषों को लग सकता है कि औरतें ज्यादा कर रही है या ज्यादा मैनिफेस्ट कर रही है। तो अगर दोनों का जो पैटर्न है वो अगर हमको पता चलता है तो और ज्यादा अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो सकती है। दे कैन अंडरस्टैंड ईच अदर बेटर एंड बी लेस जजमेंटल ऑफ ईच अदर। तो इसके लिए एक
Sudha, can I share something?
या प्लीज प्लीज मैडम,
Okay.
प्लीज प्लीज।
See, I have gone through two type of losses, two different types of losses. The first one, I lost my husband who had Alzheimer's for 9 years. We did our best. We did whatever we could do for him. And as you said, we were prepared. We were prepared that, someday or the other he would go because he suffered a lot. After he died, we did so much. After he died, you won't believe, there was total calmness. And I asked my son one day, I said, people grieve and people this. He says, Mummy, kneel down and thank God for the grace he has given you because not everyone gets this. We were totally resigned to God's will.
Correct.
That was the first.
Correct.
The second one was really terrible. I lost my daughter-in-law in an accident. My son sings very well. He took the main role in West Side Story at Bangalore. And everyone wanted to see, he had everything on his laptop and they couldn't go to the show. So they said, we want to see it, we want to see it. So he said, okay, he took his laptop to the terrace and while showing it to them, he took his projector there. And while showing it to them, one wire snapped. And this one, his wife was so bubbly and so jumpy. She jumped on the ledge of the terrace to fix it up. She didn't realize that it was glass fiber. She stepped on it. It was fiberglass. And she stepped on it and it cracked. She got scared. She went to hold something. That whole thing crashed and she came down from the 5th floor and died on the spot. It was such a terrible thing. I cannot. 2 hours before that, she called up to me and said, Ma, Kajal is coming to sing at the Blue Frog in Bombay. We all have to go. And we used to go for all his shows. But I just couldn't accept it. It was terrible. Terrible was not the word. So, it took a lot of time to get over it. But all we had to say, Lord, I surrender.
Correct.
What else can we do?
Correct. 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 Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. And I'm sure it must have been very, very difficult. So, uh, a lot of people also take grief counseling. Okay, and generally it is said that if you feel that you will be able to benefit from the counseling, or if you feel that there are certain feelings that you want to share which you feel will not be understood by your family, then definitely it is a good thing. But this is something grief, and as two three of you shared, this is something that mankind has gone through. We have gone through these situations. So irrespective of whether you take counseling, you do not take counseling, a person will have to adjust to it. So if you feel that you will be able to benefit from it, just because a lot of people think that what will others think of me if I take counseling and whatever. So please do not think that. And it is definitely beneficial if you think that you will be able to benefit from it. Okay, so you must try it out if you feel the need. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so the other thing is grief does not change relationships. It definitely change relationships. A lot of people have said that they come to know, which people are actually trying to help them out, or actually, genuinely trying to support them. So a lot of things change, and one major things which changes is the relationships. Okay, so these are things which we myths about grief which we need to think about, and I'm glad. Thank you for sharing the things which you have done right now. Okay, so another, this is exploring or expressing of emotions. Okay, so as madam was also saying that she took 2 years a lot of intense grief was felt. So acknowledging those feelings and exploring those feelings is very, very important. What triggers those feelings? When does it happen? Does it happen when, when I meet my friends? Does it happen when I'm with these particular family members? Feelings, acknowledging of feelings is very, very important. And this might also happen when you go and meet a grief counselor. It is possible that they can help you explore these things. But other things, which might emerge, and which studies and researchers have talked about, is the troubling things which might emerge. Okay, so the one thing which might emerge is the ambivalence. Okay, so there might be mixed emotions. So as madam said, there might be relief, there might be also a lot of denial, there might be sadness. Okay, so a lot of mixed emotions are bound to be there, and that is something that we have to kind of take into account, and that is what ambivalence is talking about. Okay, so mixed emotions. And secondly, unfinished business. Okay, there are certain things which I might not have said to the person. There are certain things which I might regret. Okay, had I kind of done this with that particular person, I wanted to say this, I wanted to go to that particular place with that person. So because of this regret, guilt, it can be quite complicated, and it is these troubling things which we are able to express, if we which we are able to ventilate. It might help us to accept them in a better way, and that is the purpose of sharing it, either with a family member with whom you are close, or maybe a grief counselor, or maybe with other people in a support group. Okay, so it is these troubling themes which we have to uh, deal with. Okay, and because of paucity of time, I have just kind of highlighted two of them. Okay, so now this is very important, and generally most of the research which is there highlights on this. Okay, there is a cycle which Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, okay, who's a very well-known psychologist, who says that there are generally, not everyone goes through these life cycles or stages. Not everyone, but there is a possibility that a person might go through, and it is necessary to identify and understand what, as we were talking about, what we are going through or what emotion we are going through. The first one is denial. Generally that happens, and in this covid uh, uh, in this covid time, a lot of this has happened, that there is total denial. Okay, and a person tries to seek temporary relief by denying that this thing has ever happened. So the first thing is, ye ho nahi sakta hai, ye mere sath nahi ho sakta hai. So that is a denial which is there. Okay, so that is the first stage which occurs. Okay, denial. The second this which occurs is anger. Okay, so once we are forced to accept the harsh reality, so then we have these remorse feelings towards God. Might be, not everyone will face that. So we basically blame God for not listening to our prayers. Okay, I prayed so much. I, went to the church so many times. I went to the mandir so many times, and I did so much, but still you have taken this person away from me. And all this grief, all this sadness you have reserved for me only. Okay, so that is the kind of anger that can be felt towards God, or whoever, or it might be towards the doctor, or it might be towards that particular person who has gone away, who has not with whom you could not spend so much of time. So that kind of anger can be felt. Okay, mainly towards God, or mainly towards a very powerful force. Okay, so the third stage which could occur is bargaining. Okay, so basically after anger, you know that okay, this anger is also not going to help much. Nothing is going to happen. That person has passed away. I have to lead my uh, life. Nothing is going to change. So basically, you start this bargaining process with that powerful force, or with God. Okay, so you request God that, if I do these particular things, then maybe you return that person back to me. Now we also know there was a newspaper article which had come in the paper which said that almost a lakh of children have become orphans during this COVID time. Okay, and they have lost their parents, they have lost their loved ones. Okay, और इसमें बहुत सारे बच्चों ने, एक आर्टिकल आया था उसमें उन्होंने कहा था कि बहुत सारे बच्चों ने बोला कि हमारे पेरेंट्स हमको ये बोलते थे, दे यूज्ड टू गिव अस a lot of advice and we were not listening to that. हम लोग, वो लोग जो बोलते थे ना हम लोग वो करेंगे, बट उनको वापस लौटा दो. हाँ, तो दिस इज द काइंड ऑफ बार्गेनिंग which takes place with God. Okay, so that is the third stage which occurs, which might occur. The fourth stage is itna sab denial ho gaya, then a person gets angry with that powerful force or God. The third, this is bargaining bhi ho gaya, and then a person realizes that nothing is working. Okay, I have done so much, I have gone through so much, and nothing is working. I have shouted, I have denied, but nothing has helped. So a person goes into some kind of a sunken state or a depressed state where nothing makes that person happy. Okay, so we have lost faith in God. You think that the God is not bothering about our sufferings. And I remember that song which was there. I don't know, some of you might have heard that song. आसमां पे है खुदा और जमीन पे हम, आजकल को इस तरफ देखता है कम, आसमां पे है खुदा और जमीन पे हम. Okay, so we basically feel that we have lost faith. God is not listening to us, not listening to our prayers, not paying attention to us. And that is why avoidance behavior might occur. Okay, that we will avoid social gatherings. Uh, there will be endless crying episodes. So ये depression हो सकता है. इसके बाद जब भी पता चलता है कि और कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है, so then this stage will lead to acceptance, which madam said that after 2 years it happened. Okay, so it takes a great deal of willpower after going through all these stages. When we feel that all this is not working, nothing is going to change, I will have to come out of this state, acceptance occurs. And that when it will occur depends on each individual person. So it takes a great deal of willpower, self-control, patience, understanding, reflection. And in this stage, a person is aware of the situation, there is a possibility that the person can accept it with open arms and talk about it without getting very emotional about it. And then in that acceptance, a person might pray for the person who has passed away. Okay, recently I think in this some program which had come, I think Indian Idol, in that the person Ranbir Kapoor had said that, you know, two of my brothers have passed away. Rishi Kapoor has passed away, Chimpu Kapoor, Rajiv Kapoor has passed away. So wherever they are, I hope and I pray that they are happy. So we come to this stage, he has come to this acceptance stage कि भाई जहां भी है वो लोग ठीक है, सुखी है. Okay, so you pray for their well-being rather than, you know, focusing on the vacuum which has been created in your life. And the third and the last stage which has now been added, which was not there in Kubler-Ross's life cycle, is the meaning stage. And what is this meaning? And I think I have spoken quite a lot about Viktor Frankl before. So we know that Viktor Frankl was a psychiatrist. Or yes, psychiatrist, he was tortured in the concentration camps, okay, for around 3 years. After the Second World War, जो Nazi concentration camps हुए थे, so he was totally tortured. His family was taken away, all his possessions were taken away, and mercilessly tortured for around 3 years. Okay, his family also unko torture kiya gaya, and they also were killed. Okay, and it is this Viktor Frankl who came up or who wrote this book in 1926, which became a bestseller and which was called one of the best books of 20th century. And this book was called Man's Search for Meaning. Man's Search for Meaning. And this person, I mean, entire, his clothes were taken away, his possessions were taken away, whatever work that he had, was job was taken away, family members were taken away, and still he said that he was able to withstand that torture because he felt that that had some kind of a meaning. Okay, so in some ways, suffering ceases to be suffering at the moment it finds a meaning. And what meaning did Viktor Frankl find? He found that in that whatever concentration camp, he said that I want to live only for two reasons. Okay, and a lot of books were written regarding those torture camps, and a lot of people who did not find any meaning in that suffering passed away, and only people who found some kind of meaning were able to withstand that torture, and Viktor Frankl was one of them. And he said that I have two purposes, I have two meanings in my life, and that helps me to go through this suffering. The one thing is that he wanted to meet his wife. So that is the purpose. He felt that that is the meaning. He was looking forward to that. And the second thing is, he came up with a therapy called logotherapy, in which it is said that the most important thing a man requires in his life is meaning, some kind of a purpose in life. And because he wanted to convey this meaning, because he wanted to benefit mankind, he said that he was able to go through this merciless, tremendous suffering. Okay, so once we find meaning in that suffering, it becomes a lot more easier to deal with it. Okay, and that is what is also the purpose of grief, which researchers are saying. We have to find meaning in that, some kind of a meaning in that, as Viktor Frankl found. Okay, so I think we have less time. So the common changes that take place, I'm not going to go into that. A lot of when a loved one passes away, relationships, routines, finances, we question faith. There might be some people who might become more religious or more spiritual. There are some people who might not, who might lose faith in God, or who totally might not start believing God, who might become atheists. So that also could happen. Priorities and goals will change, the kind of activities, the kind of the life that you have been leading, that is totally, the life will have to be reprogrammed. Okay, so these are the common changes which take place. Okay, so basically what they are saying, that whatever major decisions that a person needs to take, generally the ways for coping with the loss of loved ones, they say that you should not take major decisions at least for 1 year, at least for 1 year. Other thing is that we need to share new responsibilities and also ask for help, ventilate, talk about it. And that is extremely important. And that, one of the antidote for grief, they are saying, is companionship, where you are able to talk, where you are able to express. और हम लोग जो बोलते हैं कि हमारा जो दिल है, दिल हल्का होना, that is possible through expression, that is possible through talking, that is possible through ventilating. Okay, so that is why it is necessary to ask for help, not necessary from a grief counselor, but from other members, other family members with whom you feel close enough. Okay, help for whatever financial and legal matters. Journaling is also extremely important to understand what is happening with me. There are quite a few support groups also where people talk about problems which they are going through, which all of them maybe are going through, common problems which they are going through. So it is also worth joining a support group. Another this, which I wanted to share with you, was this post traumatic growth. Okay, and they are saying that when we are able to find meaning, there is this positive psychological change that is experienced as a result of the struggle with highly challenging life circumstances. And that is what they call the post-traumatic growth which happens. Okay, and that is possible when you go through intense, tremendous suffering, that this post-traumatic growth takes place. Okay, so there is greater appreciation of life. And we know that a lot of people, a lot of us have started appreciating life a lot more, because we know that, this pandemic has, taken a tremendous toll. Okay, and you never know what is going to happen. So that is why we are more appreciative of whatever we have, and the blessings, as madam was also saying, that the currently have. Okay, the other this, I also remember, as madam was saying, that I also lost one of my aunts, um my aunt, one of my aunts, and she also had Alzheimer's for around, I think, 13, 14 years. And my uncle looked after her for around 14 years. And he said that, he basically was extremely impatient. He was not able to, he never imagined, he said, that he would be able to look after his wife. And he looked after her to the extent that, he had to take her to the toilet, he had to change her sari and whatever. So he said that the kind of qualities that I had, the hidden qualities that I had, I was able to extract that. I was able to, kind of manifest that only because of this challenging circumstances that I had to go through. There is greater appreciation and strengthening of close relationships. There is increased compassion, what pain and suffering the other person goes through. So that there is that increased compassion and altruism, doing good things for other people. Okay, and identification of new possibilities or a purpose in life. Okay, so my sister, her son passed away at the age of 11. My own sister's son passed away because of blood cancer. So he passed away at the age of 11, and then she started working in a organization which was working with cancer afflicted children. But there is this, I mean, one thing which struck always said, she said that I never asked why this has happened to me. So generally, people, lot of us do that. She said, because there is no answer to this question. There is no answer why this has happened to me. Okay, so that is why she said, because I did not ask myself this question, a lot of new possibilities or a purpose in life came about. If I would have got stuck in that, I would not have been able to go ahead. Okay, so there is a greater awareness and utilization of personal strengths, which, as I told you, happened in the case of my uncle. He said that I would never have been able to, without these challenging circumstances, I would not have been able to understand or see that I have so many of these hidden qualities like patience, tolerance, and related qualities. Okay, there is enhanced spiritual development, and there is creative growth. Okay, so creative growth, as in, recently I was reading about this example of this lady in Lucknow. So her daughter passed away, okay, at the age of 8. And it was this lady who was driving a motorcycle, and there was some accident which happened, and this small girl fell down from that bicycle or motorcycle. And I mean, there was so much of intense suffering that after, after there was that stage of acceptance, and she found meaning in that. And then she said that, because her daughter's name was Manisha, so she said that because my Manisha has died, I want to see a lot of other Manishas, and I want to help a lot of other Manishas. And she took up this work of helping destitute girls, and she formed this organization called Manisha Method. And she said that I have been able to grow from this experience. So that is the kind of creative growth that we are talking about. Okay, so a lot of value also can come about through challenging circumstances. a lot of growth can also come about this challenging circumstances, but provided we understand, provided we acknowledge, and provided we try and find meaning in those challenging situations. So thank you. Thank you very much for listening to me. I think I have overshot my time. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, are there any questions? Thank you very much, Amrita. I think it's been a lovely session. I know this is such an important thing. I think we should have done it much earlier. Having said that, all of us, all the members of Tare Social would like to thank you again for what you do for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amrita.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Amrita. Thank you so much. God bless you.